Cancers, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is your life path. This is the life path number, the spiritual space that you are in when you manifested your incarnation or reincarnation, and this is your Sun, Moon, Ascendant sign as the tool, and this is how it's playing out. Be you aware of it or others aware of you. So life path 1, you know what I'm saying, you're initiating your feelings, you know what I'm saying, and things you're familiar with, and familiarizing yourself with being an individual, whether you be separate just by your personality from your family, or you know what I'm saying, your comfort zone, or whether you're going out and doing things that are making you comfortable, initiating that self-love with the things that are making you comfortable, and people are watching you, you know what I'm saying, or not really just watching you because you're not creating the vision, you're creating the feeling. So they are feeling you, they're feeling, picking up on the vibes, and not just surrounding themselves with you, with your ascendant. Life path 2, relationships, you know what I'm saying, you're relating, and you're dualistic, and you're considering to others, yours and others' feelings and relation as you're initiating. You're not being over controlling, you're being consoling with relationships. Or you have to crawl before you walk. So you have to start understanding how to relate your emotions, not take things so personal before you know what I'm saying, before you jump into a family, jump into that family car, jump to, you know what I'm saying, settling down and being comfortable. You have to understand how someone else is relating with you, to that feeling, you know what I'm saying, the feelings based off the environment. So you also need to relate your emotions. You could be an example of how to initiate that emotion for relating, or you are walking into the thing, you know what I'm saying, people like flocking to you for what the fuck to do, giving advice, giving love advice, you know what I'm saying, and it's manifesting to life path 3s, a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, you know what I'm saying, you're creating a rise to occasion, you're a manifestor, you're benevolent with money and generous with the tools that you are gifted with your environment. These things that are just there to you, these things that you're just aware of, that maybe you might take for granted. So people are understanding from you not to take for granted your emotions, or not to take for granted being comfortable in one area for too long, that you neglect the other things in the environment that are there because of you. And if it isn't because of you, it's because of a feeling or emotion that you've generated a vibe that you need to take spiritual accountability for. Because, you know what I'm saying, life path 3, this is the gift, you know what I'm saying, this you being considerate, being grounded, you know what I'm saying, bringing practical things, bringing something into completion, you know what I'm saying. When that wave rushes up on the beach, what has been brought with it, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, you know. So in life path 4, this is the cornerstone, the concept, this is the completion of the environment that gives it a structure, gives it a logical idea, gives it a logical concept that can be manipulated, or that can be taken out of context or put in the context. Is based upon your feelings, your emotion that you generate with that idea, you know what I'm saying, the vibe that gives the soul to the frequency vibration before you send it out on a broader scale. As like you have the emotions, that is the ocean, you have this airy nature that can, you know, saying that helps the emotion to travel, a cloud, a bubble, you know what I'm saying, thanks to that nature of what you're being aware of, that gets too heavy and it pours down and waters your seas within, you know what I'm saying, on the life path 3s, or anybody else that is still, you are being an example to, whether they're a different life path or not, you're being an example, the higher octave of what it's going to look like down the line, or the lower octave of where they need to reflect and go into the drawing board and be, you know what I'm saying, to themselves. So now life path 5s, you're tapped into the senses, you're very courageous, you're going to initiate something based off of a feeling, based off your intuition, you know what I'm saying, where you're going to create a home, where you project out that esoteric wave, you know what I'm saying, that directs the atmosphere that they say is just space and stuff, you know what I'm saying. It's very cold water, but it's the heart chakra, it's the ether that is flowing of emotion, that is swelling up inside, that is generating the direction that these things are going to go in, that these feelings are going to go into, because you initiate this change. You're very flexible, and this is fluid on the highest of octaves, you know what I'm saying, where you look to the sky when you're lost with the feelings that are down here that are within the earth, and you look to the crab stepping outside of its shell, being vulnerable. This is the highest of vulnerabilities, because it's ideas in thought forms floating around up there, the things that you can't see. So you've been an example of how to be vulnerable and initiating a new way to feel about your vulnerability, or your vulnerability, initiating a new way, you know what I'm saying, giving people something to care about. So life path 6, you see your personality, you know what I'm saying, you're very thunderous, you're very it's like striking like lightning. It's flash and it's here and it's gone, you know what I'm saying. You're very dynamic with your emotions, very almost like Aries minus the vision, like water. It's like watercoloring. The waves, when they move, they create electricity, you know what I'm saying. They create power for electricity, you know what I'm saying. And when you see your image being reflected, the image is rippled and you see it expanding and contraction, and it's going in different wavelengths. Pieces of you might be lower, pieces of you might be higher. So this is your personality being up there, on top of the star, you know what I'm saying, being the Cancer, being the mother, you know what I'm saying, putting your home above all else, expanding an empire, expanding the lineage. You leave a legacy inside of someone, you know what I'm saying, not just tools and all these other shit for them, you know what I'm saying. So this is the life path 7th, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. You know what I'm saying? This is nature of separating your expansion. You're separating yourself and seeing the world. This is where you're going into your shell to heal yourself. This is where you're going into the dark crevices. And just because it's in the dark crevices inside of your home, that is a doorway. That is a gateway to a whole nother perception and world that you still need to bring out for others. Would be demonic being seen for that thing. But at the same time, you're separated. So you're delivering a message from your higher octave self, from that space and that realm of dimension of separateness of angels and things of that nature, and the natures of these things, the order and the structure of these things that have been guided to the places that they are, being separated and seeing the world that you've created. Life path 8, this the Hierophant, you know what I'm saying. This is spending time into doing something, you know what I'm saying. It's like a religion of a philosophy, but a strict religion, depending on how you divvy up the waves and how you throw out that wave. So you're bringing that structure or the opposition Capricorn energy based on how fixed maybe you could be, like the Scorpio energy, if you go in deep enough and you initiate the wave, and you're still providing that energy, that feminine energy too, because it's 2 wombs, so it's not birthed yet, but it's expanding. It's a world inside of itself, and though the outside looks uncomfortable and structured and stiff and stale, this is the example that you're setting for others, that they have to do this thing, and it has to look that way from time in general. It just has to look that way. Perception is your reality, but you know what I'm saying, don't judge a book by the cover. So it's pregnant because, you know, it's got to be protected, guarded, sealed, structured before it gets here. It's creating a womb, soft spot in itself, and having 2 of that is making it extremely vulnerable. Life path 9, just the wisdom with your emotions, with your humanitarianism, just the circumstances, you know what I'm saying, the areas of the wisdom that's being played out as far as your feelings and your emotions and your availability with your emotions, and how you're going out and controlling the vibration, you know what I'm saying, creating the overall, being here to re-experience everything that you've experienced, and having energies flock to you, you know what I'm saying, based off of your experiences. But you already experience these things, so either you're in or you're out, or you're in and out very fast, and this is what others are seeing from you. Life path 11, you know what I'm saying, you're using your emotions to find a new way to connect to somebody, via if they are outside the home, because you have to work. Sometimes you work with the troubled youth and stuff and you make them family if someone else is being selfish in their own ways. Or if it's the lower octave, you want to manipulate someone else that's selfish in their own nature, is calling it self-love, so that they can do what you want them to do and get into that relationship with life path 22, you know what I'm saying, initiating your relationship. And, you know, it's a slow process. So to speed up the process, it's neither negative or positive, but to speed up the process, you're looking at someone else's relationship. You're being a guru to a relationship, that when they go through things, it adds power to you, it brings energy to you. Or when they make mistakes, or they gain a new wisdom, they share it with you. Whether y'all clash and there's friction, or it's just like it is what it is, because iron sharpens iron within those relationships, within, you know what I'm saying, making a tight circle, you know what I'm saying, creating, expanding upon that family, expanding upon that home, creating like a tribe, colony kind of home, whereas rulerships and structure can come out of that. You know what I'm saying, like the life path 23, you know what I'm saying, your creativity, your creative endeavors, your things to manifest, that you're grounded, like you're grounding others within your reality, you're grounding others within, you know what I'm saying, your emotion and your feeling based upon the environment that is already there, but you manifested it being there. But when it's time for things to change and create a completion and create a death to give new birth to something. You will look at someone else's, initiate a new vibration that you think is best for them. It may be, it may not be, but you think that it's working for you because you're in your environment, you're surrounded by people that might be yes man, no man, or just, you might pick up the wrong impression to think that you can initiate that feeling upon their environment and their way of going about things. And that may or may not be the right thing to do. It's depending on how you're being an example. And that could be the environment. Like you see in your life path play out by the example that you've set for others and how it is going out and working for them in their environment and their safety status and things of that nature. Thank you.